Hello friends, my name is Manu, and in today's video I am going to talk about Redis database, which is known as the fastest database of the world. I am going to cover in the following topics. So what is Redis, what are the advantages of Redis, and its comparison with other non-relational databases, especially MongoDB, and what are the different data types are used in Redis. And after this, I'm going to give you a hands-on experience of how the Redis can be installed on Ubuntu and Windows, and what are the different commands. And in addition to this, I will give you a brief demo about how we can connect Redis database in .NET application. So let's start. So what is Redis? So Redis is a remote dictionary server. So dictionary means it's a key value pair. So everything is saved in the database is in the key value pair. So it has a key and the value associated to the key. And it is a non-relational database. So the data can be saved in JSON format, or in the other, it's a non-relational, not a traditional relational databases format. So and the one of the most important thing is it's open source, and it can have a master slave architecture. So we can scale out in horizontally the Redis to the different slaves. So there is one master and multiple slaves, and data can be replicated to any number of slaves. So, and most important thing is the data is persistent. So it can be used as a cache, but in others cache databases, data cannot be persistent in the disk, but in this case it can be saved into the disk. So even after restarting the server, we will get the information that we have saved in the database earlier. And since it replicates to the number of slaves, so if any of the slave goes offline, then we can, so it's replicated to the multiple slaves, so our data is safe. So what are the advantages of Redis? So Redis is known as the fastest database in the world. So it is exceptionally fast. So it writes 110,000 operations per second, and it can read 81,000 operations per second, and it supports 5 different data types: string, list, set, sorted set, and hashes. So string, where one value is saved per key. List, we can have multiple values per key, and set is similar, but it has a different operation. So I will going to talk about the different data types in the coming slides. And it has atomic operations. So if multiple clients are concurrently accessing it, so if one client saves some information, so same information is available to the other clients also. So there is no concept of dirty read. And Redis database can be used as a caching tool. It can be used as a messaging queue, similar to PubSub concept, where one publisher pushes the data to the queue, and other subscribers of the queue will get an alert or notification about the new data coming into the queue. And as I told, so it has a disk persistence capability, which is an add-on advantage in comparison to other caching databases. And it has a master slave replication, so data is saved across the different slaves, and different slaves have the same replica. And the most important thing here is we can write a scripts on the database, similar to the stored procedure that we are using in other relational databases. So there is a comparison that has been done with Redis and other non-relational database, especially in MongoDB. So uh, in this comparison, if you look at this, in every test for the different requests, 10 requests, 20 requests, it is exceptionally fast in comparison to the MongoDB. So this test has been conducted as a Node.js as a user interface and backend as a MongoDB or a Redis. So if you look at this, for 5,120 requests, uh, Redis database took only 3.56 seconds. However, the MongoDB took 8.41 seconds. So we can say it's more than 200% faster than a MongoDB. So it has a high performance in-memory database with the disk persistence, and it has atomic operations. So as I told that there are 5 data types: string, list, set, hash, and sorted set. So in string, we can save strings, integer, and floating values into the string data type, and it can operate on whole strings, and we can use a similar like substring or mid kind of functions into the string data type. And if the value is saved in numeric, integer, or float values, then we can use increment and decrement operations. So actually whatever the data is saved into the string key, it automatically identifies whether the value is integer or string, and based on that we can use the different types of operation. So maximum limit of saving value in the string is 512 megabyte. I think it's quite enough to hold a long string. And these are the basic operations. Set writes the value to the key. So if you look at this is a string tar type, and it has key hello, and the value saved is word. So set command we can use as a set key is hello, and then value is word. And if you want to fetch the information from the string, we can use a get command and the key. So if we pass get hello, it will return word as a value, and we can remove the key using a del key. So everything in the Redis database is saved in the format of key pair combination. So del key can be used for deleting the other data types also. So if there is a data types list and it has a key, you can use a del key and it will remove the list value also. So a list is a list of strings. As in string data type we can have one key and one value, but in list we can have a multiple values to a one key. And in this case, if you look at this, we have a key name here, and we have multiple values to a one key, and it can allow a duplicate value. So in this case also, the first and third value is item, which is a duplicate. So we can write values from the both ends, from left hand side or from the right hand side. And so there is a push operations for pushing the value from left and right. So R push is writing the value from right hand side, L push is writing the value from the left hand side. And in order to remove it, then there is a L pop and R pop. L pop removes from left hand side, R pop removes from right hand side. So these are the commands. So here is R push. R push is a command for right push. And what is the value? We can pass a value as a key as a parameter and a different values. So in this case, if I want to write in this way in the key, so I will use a command R push list key item to item. So this will be saved in the uh, Redis database. So another command is the lrange. So we can fetch the range of values from the list. So range of values means, so in this case the first value is the index 0, then second has the index 1, third has the index 2. So if I want to fetch only item 1 and item 2, then I can use the command lrange key 0 and 1. So if you want to fetch all the values 0 and 2, and if you're not sure whether it has 10 values or 15 values, but you want to get all the values, you can put a long index, the larger index here, like in this you can specify like 0 and 1000. So even though values are 3, so it, and we have specified 1000, it returns all the values. L index is again if you want to fetch one value from a particular index. So suppose I want to fetch it from the item 2, then I can use L index key, and item 2 is on index 1, so I will pass as a 1 as a parameter. And if you want to remove from the left hand side, so lpop and the key name, it will remove one item from the left hand side. So, and if you want to remove from right hand side, there is a rpop, so rpop and key. So lpop rpop removes one value from the list. Set. So set is unordered collection of unique strings. So the term here is unique, so it doesn't allow to insert duplicate values into the set. As in case of list, we can pass a multiple duplicate values, but here it saves only a one unique value. And since it is a set, and we can use a different set operations in the set data type, so like intersection, union, difference between two sets, so and other operations similar to list, we can use it here also. So here the values saved in the set are called as the members. So in this case there are three members, item 2, item and item 3. So how we can insert values to the set? So there is a command sadd key member 1, member 2, and so on. S members, so if you want to return entire set of items, so there is a S member key, S members and the key. So if I specify S members set key, it will return the three values here. S is member, so in order to check whether the value is present in the set or not, so how we can use it? S is member key and member. Suppose I want to check item 3 is present in this set or not, so I will use S is member set key and item 3, so it will return 1. So 1 indicates so there is a value, this value is present in the set. And in case I am passing some value like item 4, which is not in this set key, then it will return a nil or 0. Okay, so it will return 0. So it will indicate that this value is not present in the set. And in order to remove one particular value, so there is a srem key and member. So if you remove item, then there is srem key and item, so it will return, so it will remove one value. So if you want to delete the complete set key, then use a del command. Next is a hash. So hash is a table of keys to values. So what does it mean? So hash, you can compare it with that one record in a table. So like in a relational database, we have a table and we have a record. So hash is one record. So it can have like in this case, this is a hash key and it is a key, sub key 1 and value 1. So sub key, these are basically the fields of a table. So suppose there is a I am saving as an employee, so I will use employee as a hash key. So employee will be a table, and employee first name, employee last name, employee email address, so and corresponding values to it. So employee will be used as a table, and the different values will be used as a record. So how will use, like how will insert the values in this at set key, field and value. So in this case I will use at set key, maybe for employee number 110, 101, what I will use h key employee underscore 101, field employee first name and value, the name of the employee. And so if you want to insert another value, at set employee underscore 101, so I am inserting into 101 id, and id is value is 101. Similar way you can insert multiple fields and values into the hash key. So in order to get the particular information of a field, so how we will get h get key and field. So if you want to get a value what is the saved in sub key 2, then you will use h get key is a hash key and field is sub key 2, so it will return a value 2. And in order to remove a particular column or key from the hash, then or field from the hash, then hdel key field. So to get all the records or all the fields of the entire hash key, then you will get all hash key, it will return all the values, key value pair of that particular hash key. The next one is a sorted set. So as we have already discussed the set, so this is a sorted set. Sorted set means it will have corresponding score to each individual member. So in this case we have a S set as Z set key, member 1 has a score this, member 2 has a 0 has a score this. So there is a score associated to each individual member of in the sorted set. So you could use in for in some scenario you want to see the recently used items that you want to show in your application. So if it is being used multiple times, then you can increment the score of that particular item. So the higher the score means higher it is being used. So you can then sort it by the score value, and then you can show the top 10 or top 15 or top n the recently used item. So you can use a sorted set in that case. So what are the basic operations? Z add. So in order to add a value to the sorted set, Z add key score 1, member 1, score 2, member 2, and so on. So you can add multiple members with score in a one command, or you can add a multiple commands also. Z add key score 1, member 1, then again Z add key score 2, member 2. So Z range is used to fetch the items of the sorted set. So how we can use Z set key start and stop. Start and stop is the index. So I want to fetch top 10 members. So Z range key 0 to 9. So it will returns top 10 members of the Z set. Now this is based on the index. Now if I want to paste it by the score, then you can specify Z range by score, key minimum value and maximum value. So if I specify that key by score, key Z key, and minimum value is 0 to 800, so it will return only member 1. And in order to remove a member from the Z set, then you can use a Z key and member. So sets rem z set key member 0, it will remove this item. So again, if you want to delete the entire key itself, then use a delete key that I have explained string slide. So we have covered all of these 5 data types: string, list, set, hash, and sorted set. Now the next thing is how we can install it on Ubuntu. So these are the basic commands that we use, like sudo apt get update to get that update from the Ubuntu. Then we use the sudo. Then in order to install, we get apt get install Redis server. So it will install a Redis server on your Ubuntu machine, and a Redis server is to start the server. But if you use this, so it will automatically start the server. You don't have to start it. Use this command. So, but in case it is not working, then you can use this command. So, in order to connect to the Redis server, use this Redis CLI. So it's a command line utility. So you can use this, and all the commands that I mentioned in all of these sorted set, these are the commands. You can use it on this command line interface. And there is a Redis desktop manager also. It has a GUI, so you can see all the database and keys from this Redis desktop manager. So how we can install? Sudo snap install Redis desktop manager. So it will install it on Redis desktop manager on Ubuntu. Centos, there are different set of commands, but it will work similar to the Ubuntu. So these are the command to install the release, and then install server, then system control start Redis, enable Redis, and then ping is a command to check the connectivity. It's just if you type ping in the Redis CLI, so if it is returning pong, then it means connectivity is it shows that it is working. And on installation onto the Windows, you can use this URL to install it on a Windows. So there is a zip file. Once you download the zip file, it will have 2 folders, 32-bit and 64-bit. So if your machine is 64-bit, then use the 64-bit folder. If you have 32-bit, then use 32-bit. And it has a different executables. So one executable is a Redis server, so you can open Redis server on command line interface, and the Redis client on another command line interface. Then you can connect it to the Redis server in the Windows. And since it has a disk persistence, so there is a dump file created on this folder itself. You can see the dump file created. So all these all those keys that you are creating into the Redis server will be saved on the dump file. Okay, so let's jump to the video, jumps to the demo part. Okay, so let's move to the demo part. So first step is how to install Redis on Ubuntu. So let me move to Ubuntu. First step is we have to update. So since I have updated recently, so it may be update very quickly, but if you are not updated, then it may take a longer time. So even though it is, I think a new update has come, so it is taking slightly longer time. Yeah, these are the recent updates. So now it's done. Okay, so the next part is how to install Redis server. So in that case we have to use this command apt-get install Redis server. What's wrong with, oh sorry, I missed the T part. Okay, so now it is updating. Now it's saying that Redis server is already installed. So if it is not installed, then you will get a installation process will happen after this command. So now Redis server is installed here. So let me check whether it's working or not. So I can check it by Redis CLI. Yes, it is connected. So in order to check the connectivity, so I just type ping, so it is giving as a pong. So it means the installation is done. So that is the first step. So now let's move to the Windows portion, how we can install it from the Windows. So as this is the link for downloading the Windows Redis on Windows. So once you download it, it will give you a zip file. So after you extract the zip file, the folder structure will be just like so. The folder structure will be similar to this. So it will have a 32-bit, it will have a 64-bit. So since my machine is 64-bit, so you can see these are the files here. Okay, so how to use these files? So this is the Redis server and this is a Redis client. So let me open a terminal here. Let me start the server, redis.server. So server has started on the Windows, and start the client redis.cli. It is connected, ping, it's giving pong. So this connectivity is done. So two installation I have explained, how to install it on Redis server and Ubuntu, and how to install it on the Windows. So the next step is I will give you a brief introduction about the different commands. So the advantage of using it Ubuntu is like you are getting a hint what exactly we have to type. So let's take an example of string. So we know in order to set a string we use a set command. So now I want to set a key for my new string. So I just type a string, my string, and value. So value in this case I'm just setting a first value. Again, if you want some expiration, so that it should expire after 5 seconds, so I'm just setting it here. So in order to see the different keys we have, so okay, so that it's already expired in 5 seconds. Let me change it to 15 seconds. So now this my string is there. Get keys, get my string. So it is showing a first. So now after 15 seconds, so this cache has cleaned this key my string. So in order to set it permanently, you can use it as a set my string and some value, maybe it is there, so it will be there forever. So there will be a one file, dump file will be created, so it will be saved there. So now how to get the value? So there is a key get command, get my string, so it is showing up first. So in order to delete a key, I will use delete my string. So this key has been deleted. Suppose I am deleting a key that doesn't exist, so it will return a 0. So it will not throw any error message, but it will give you the flags like 1 or 0. 1 means it has been successfully deleted, 0 means it has not deleted or it has not found that key. So that is part of the string. So let's move to the list. So how we can use a list in Redis. So as I said that it's in string we are using a one key and one value, but in case of list we can save multiple values in a key, and it can have a duplicate value. So first let me add values to the key. So my key is my list, value is first, second, third. So it has 3 values. Now let me check. There is only one key, my list. Now how to get a value? Again there are ways. Range. So first way is using range. So I want to use first top 2. So it will give you first and second. If I want to see all the list, so even though values are 3, I have put a larger range. So endpoint is here is 100. So since there is only 3 values, it is showing only 3 values only. Okay, so the second way for getting a value from the list is lindex key. My key is my list and index. Now I want to use a second index. So second, it starts with a 0. 0 is first, 1 is second, and 2 is third. So now if I am passing an index that doesn't exist, it returns nil. So it doesn't throw any error on that. So now how to, again let me get the list of, so we have 3 values, first, second and third. Let me push one more value. Now I am passing first again, so duplicate. So it is showing first, second, third, first. So it is allowing to insert duplicate values in a list. Now how to remove the values from the list? So there are 2 ways of doing it. One is lpop. Lpop means from left side I want to remove the key, so the value will be removed from key will be first, that is a 1 number. So that's it. Now I will get the list of, now if you look at this, the first is removed. Now the second ways are pop. So now first is removed from the right hand side, so it will have only second and third values. So in this way we manage the list in that Redis. Okay, so now let's move to the set. So as I said that set we can use it as a similar to list, but it doesn't allow a duplicate value, and in addition to this we can use the intersect, union and other set operations. So how to add value to a set? So there is a command sadd key my set. So I am just adding a multiple members, first, second, So I have added 4 values in that set. So how I can check the members as members of my set? So it is showing first, second, third, first, fourth, second. So all of these members are there. Okay, so now I want to check whether any member exists in the list or not. So I'm just using this member as is member exist in my set, and member is maybe 5th. So it is returning as a 0. So it means this value is not there in that set. So if I select 4th, it is showing a 4. So this value exists. So now I want to remove any member from the set. So in that case I'll use as rem my set. So I want to remove maybe first. So that is removed. So as members I just now I get the list first, fourth and second. So now if you look at this, the first is not there. So this is how the set works in that Redis. Now next move to the hash. A hash, as I told, it's a unordered hash table. So it's just similar to a row in a table in a relational database. So how to save the value? So there is a command set key my hash. So now I want first name Manu, set my hash, second name Sharma, set my hash, email manusharmaworks@gmail.com. So in this case I created a record with 3 fields: first name, second and email. So this is just similar to one row in a table. So how to get the information? Get my hash. So what I want to retrieve, I want to retrieve first name. It is showing Manu. In the similar way I want to retrieve email. It is showing my email address. So now I found that instead of second name I just typed second. So I want to remove that field. So how I can remove? Tell my hash. Now which field I want to remove? I want to remove second. So that field is removed. Now I want to see the list of all the fields with values. First name is Manu, email is Manu Sharma. Now I want to add a second name here, or last name here. So set my hash, last name last name Sharma. So in this way the hash values are stored in that Redis. So now if you look at this, if I type all the just keys to get the list of all of these. So I have used 3 keys here: my set, my list, my hash. So Redis saves all the data types in the keys format. So in the first case, my set is a key of type set, second is of key of type list, and third is of type hash. So now the one type left is your sorted set. So let's cover that part also. So sorted set is similar to set, but it has some score attached to each member. So how we can add? Z add my set, then score to member 1, 22 member 2, and so on. So I have added two members to a set, my Z set. So I want to fetch the key, the members from my Z set. So start at 0 to 10. So if you look at this, it's showing it's empty. But why it is empty? Because our score is starting from 10 and I have typed till 10. So 10 to 100. Why it is giving? Oh, I typed my Z set. It should be my Z set. Here it is showing. So members 0 to 10. So first member, member 1, member 2. Now I want to get the range by score. This is by the index, the position. Now I want to get it by the scores. So Z range by score. So till 10 there is only one. So minimum 0 to 100, return both the keys. Okay, so now I want to show it with scores. So it is member 1 has 10 score, member 2 has 20 score. So now I want to remove member 1. How I can remove? Z rem my Z set member 1. So this has been removed. So again let me check that range by score. That is showing only member 2. So in this way we worked with the set. So this is the overall like how we manage different data types in Redis. I explained string, I explained set, then I explained your hash values, list, and Z set. So this is the basic commands. Now next I will move to the .NET portion, how we can use it in a .NET. So let me open a Visual Studio. Okay. So in order to use it on .NET, we have to install some extension, that is a Redis Exchange extension. So we can install it from NuGet, and you can install it on your different projects where you are planning to use it. So before I start, let me give you a brief overview about the projects that I have created here so that you can get a better understanding. So I created a Redis tail layer here to interact with that Redis. So it has a reference of Redis stack exchange Redis, and there is a connection helper. So it's just I'm just creating connection with that local server, and for each type I have created a different class here. So like for string, this is the class that I have created, and it has these functions: get value, and this is the cache I am using from the Redis helper. So I created an instance of Redis helper. So cache I am getting, in order to get it a get value, it's a string set, then string set, and then key delete. Okay, so now in this case I am using a class called as an employee class. So this is the structure of employee class. So it has ID, first name and last name. Okay, then a constructor with these values and a default constructor. So what I am doing in this case is first how to save employee. So I am passing the employee object here, then I am serializing it to JSON object and then saving it to the Redis database. So the key here is my string, and I'm just fetching it using the get employee. I'm just pulling it from the database using the key my string, and then if the length is greater than 0 means if there is some value saved in the database, then I am converting it to the employee and then retrieving it. So let's go to the test application. So this is, I have just already written a code. So I'm just uncommenting it, and I hope Redis server is running. Yes, and let me check the keys that we have here. We don't have any key as of now, so I'm running this application. So now employee is saved. Then I'm getting I fetched it from the database again and displaying it in the user interface. So this is how I'm just doing. First I created an instance of employee, saving it to the database, calling that. Then I'm just fetching the employee again and then displaying it this way. So now let me check whether that, yeah. So now if you look at this value is saved in the database, so I can get mw string mw is capital letter. So this is what it is saved in the JSON format in the database. Okay, so now let's try the list. So I'm commenting it and uncommenting the list code. So what I'm doing in this case, I'm just doing a left push using a left push command. So let me open that list class that I've created. So here I'm just using the basic Redis commands. So in the Redis Exchange class there are different methods of using it. First is a left push. There is a method called list left push. So all the methods will start from the list name. List left push, list right push, left pop, right pop, list right pop, and then get range. So there is a concatenate field here. Oh sorry, there is a list range, and then I'm concatenating it to display it, and then list get by index, and then list trim, so in order to trim it, left trim. So now let me go to that what I'm doing is I'm first pushing the value A, then I'm pushing a value B, left push, then value C. Okay, so these are the values that I'm pushing, and then I'm getting a range also, a list to get range. Then I'm right pushing 1, 2, 3, then I'm removing from the right hand side and from the left hand side. So let's run this application. So left push A, so list has a value, left push B, now B is pushed from the left side, so the list has a BA value, push C, it has CBA, then right push 1, 1, 2, 3, then I right pop, I removed one value from the right hand side, so 3 is removed, so it's a CBA 1, 2, then left push, I pushed it from the left hand side, so C is removed, it's a BA 1, 2. So this is the basic operation. Now let me check on the Redis server. Yeah, so there is one list has been added. So now let me check L range list, then 0 to 10. So all of these values are there, BA1, 2. Okay, so I'm stopping this application. And commenting the list code. And now let's try the set first, or let's try the hash first. So in this case, let me open the Redis hash class. So what I'm doing here is, in order to save employee, I've just created a utility to convert it into the hash entries. So what this utility is doing, I'm using a reflection so to get the objects, and then creating a hash entry, because we need a hash entry to save it to the database. So then I'm saving it as a hash set. So mw hash and employee ID, so this will become a key. Then I'm saving a hash entry in the array format in the save data in the database, Redis database. So when I'm just passing the key. So mw is a fixed, so in this case I'm passing the ID and I'm getting the value from the database using a hash get all, and then displaying it, and then assigning it to the employee IDs first, second, and so assigning the first name, last name, ID, and then returning the class object. So this is what I'm doing here. First created an instance of employee class, saving it to the Redis database, then fetching it and then displaying it. Let me start this application. Yeah, so it's saying employee saved, employee fetched successfully, then ID, I then pass the 101 ID in a parameter, so it fetched that record from the Redis database. Now let me check. So now if you look at this mw hash, I have fixed it, and then 101 value is retrieved here. So how to check? H get mw 101 and id. So this is the one id. So get, so I want to see all the fields. It's a id, first name, id is 101, first name Manu, last name Sharma. So that's what we're doing it here. So let me change, create a new record, 102 test last. Oh, I'm fetching the 101 only. So ideally it should save to the database. Here, even though I have changed it to 102, but I'm fetching only 101 record. So let me check in that database itself. So 102 is there. Let's get all 102. So this is saved, test and last name. Okay, so let's comment hash also and then move to the set. So again opening the set class, what I'm doing it here. So here I'm just adding using a setAdd method of your Stack Exchange Redis. Then I'm getting a member using a set member, and then I applied a join so that I can see in a comma separated way. And then I am doing some operations like difference between two sets, intersect between two sets, and union between two sets. So these are the operations that I'm doing it here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding India, Pakistan, Australia and Sri Lanka to the set A and displaying it, all the members of set A, then adding set B, India, Bangladesh, China and USA to set B and displaying all the members of set B. Then I'm doing operation union of set A and B. So in union AB, A is coming in both the sets, so it will be coming once. So it should have India, Pakistan, Australia, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, China and USA. And in intersection, only one country is common, that is India, so this should display India. And difference is from A to B, so it will show Pakistan, Australia and Sri Lanka. So let's run this application. So set A, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India. Then set B, China, USA, Bangladesh, India. And union, all of these countries. Intersection, only India is common. Difference, so India is removed, so difference is Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Australia. So let me check in that. So set A and set B is there. So let me check all the members as members of key set A. So these are the members of set B. Okay, so this is saved in the database. So now the last portion left is ordered set. I'm commenting it, the set code, uncommenting the sorted set. So here what I'm doing in the sorted set is, so first is I am adding a sorted set using, so zadd is a Redis command. So in this Redis exchange, it is using a sorted set add. Get members, it's displaying a sorted scan, and get member by score, that is sorted range by score. And then there is an increment and decrement. I am just using an increment and save intersect, how to use the intersection. So all of these basic operations that we have for the set. So let me go to the, what I'm doing in this case is I created array like for India, all of these countries here, and then I did a score. So India will have 1, China will have 2, Australia will 3, and USA will have 4. And then I'm displaying all the members, and then what I'm using is getting the list of all the members that are in 1 and 2, with the index 1 and 2, between 1 and 2. And then I'm incrementing the USA by 10, so it will have 4 plus 10, 14 value. Then again getting the list of values. Then I'm getting a rank of USA, what is the rank of USA, what is the score of USA, then all of this list by the score, in descending order. Go to the definition. So I am displaying it in the descending order. So running this application again. So first sorted set has the India 1, China 2, Australia 3, USA 4. Member of sorted set with range 1 and 2 is China 2, India 3. So 2 and 3 is there. Then increment US by 10, so it will have 10 plus 4, 14. Rank of US is 3, and score is 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3, and score is 14. And sorted set is now descending order: USA, Australia, China, and India. So let's check that. SS, this is the sorted set I have created. So how we can check it here? That range SS 0 to 10. SS is capital 0 to 10. So all of these countries are here. Okay, so this is what I have covered in this today's demo. So I have covered string, list, set, hash, sorted set, how to use these commands and how to use it in .NET, installation of on Ubuntu, and this is a process for Centos, and then on how to use it on Windows. So that's it from my end. So in case of any questions and query, you can write an email to me, and please, if you like this video, please like this video and share and subscribe my videos.